Good morning, welcome to my channel. My friend's Kami Jelly. I've lost 181 pounds on a ketogenic journey. How did my journey go so far? Well, the first time I tried keto was in 2017, the beginning of the year, and I lost like 80 pounds in a couple of months. Literally, it fell off. Over the summer, I quit keto and gained 30 of it back. Then on September 1st, which I call my keto anniversary because I haven't quit since then, I weighed like 330 something pounds, and by December, I got down to, I think, 270, something like that. So the big giant chunk of my weight loss, the 110 something pounds, were in a few months span. That's 70 pounds though, not counting all the ups and downs I've had, because I've had a lot of ups. Staying strict keto, still had my ups from water weight and everything else. That net 70 pounds, like, it's taken 2 years. But so many more than just 70 pounds came off during those 2 years, like inches and everything. Well, so yeah, my big giant weight loss was in the beginning. And then, yeah. Last year I said I lost 60 pounds, but that's because I had gained 38 the year before on keto. It wasn't keto's fault. I was eating foods that I didn't know I was having reactions to, and it was causing tons of inflammation in my body. And once you go keto, your body's more sensitive to things, and you realize what is affecting you and not. And you can tell something's affecting you, and then you got to do your little study yourself, your little research to find out what it is. I ate cheese a couple of nights ago, 1 ounce of cheese, yummy cheese that is pretty clean, and most people on keto eat this cheese. Yeah, I went up 4 pounds for the 1 ounce of cheese, and it was the cheese, and I've felt sick ever since, and the weight's coming back down. So, yesterday I weighed in at 199.2, and today I weigh in at 198.8. So, it's down. I'm still trying to get the cheese water weight off my body. So I'm happy with it, especially since yesterday I had the 2 days in a row. I had some marinara, and I had some bell pepper, and I had some mushroom, and I had some spinach, and that is not something I usually have in my diet because they affect me. But I'm trying again to see if I can get them back in my diet. So the month of February, I am doing page 4. It's Dr. Eric Westman. You can Google him, you can YouTube him. He does not believe in macros. So when you go to him as your doctor, or to his conference, and yes, I have personally talked to him. I think I will be talking to him next week. I'm not sure yet. I gotta check on my schedule. But when you talk to him, they there's a trigger word, not for him, but for his group and some of his other people, is macros. Because what's the first thing all us keto people who's learned keto from other people want to know? Okay, well, Dr. Westman is really the keto doctor, like, for over 20 years. He's been prescribing keto to all his patients for the last 14 years. So you always want to say, well, what should my macros be? And they always laugh. And they always say, we don't use macros. We just care about 20 total carbs or less a day. He also has lists that if you go to his conferences or to see him as a doctor, you get this little book. And there's a list of foods and how much per day to eat on that list. So, like, for example, you can have 6 olives a day. You can have, I'm trying to find it. It used to literally be on page 4 in the book. I guess it does go back to page 4. So it starts on page 4 so you know where it is in the book. And that's why it got its name, page 4. So it literally says here, 2 tablespoons a day max of butter, coconut oil, peanut oil, palm oil, avoid any seed oils, and I'm sure avocado oil is part of it too, but it's not on the list. And that's all you're supposed to have a day. 4 ounces of cheese a day. It lists the types of cheese you can have a day. Cream, up to 2 tablespoons a day of cream, and then it has like 2 tablespoons a day of mayonnaise, 6 olives, a half an avocado max a day. Green salad, 2 cups max a day. This includes cabbage, chives, any greens, mustards, collards, turnips, kale, lettuce, parsley, spinach, radishes, scallops, watercress. They're on that list. And as long as you just follow what it says, that's kind of your macros, because you don't get macros. So when you say, how do you make your bulletproof coffee? They all laugh at you because they don't believe in putting butter in coffee. They don't believe in adding fats to anything. Are you eating that salad? Okay, you really don't need to put that olive oil unless that's all you're putting on there, because you're getting your fats in whatever meat you just threw in there and whatever cheese. They do not believe in the whole eating a certain amount of fats, proteins, nothing. They believe you just follow this. But you're getting a lot of protein because you're allowed to eat this protein that's in this thing until you're satiating. So if you need a snack, protein is in the snack list too. So when I tell him, well, I was eating like the 100 grams of fat, because that's what my macros say, but during all my weight loss, especially the crazy fast weight loss, I did 50 max of fat. He looks at me and he's like, well, we don't track fat. You understand you have tons of fat in your body, right? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, well, let your body eat itself. Literally, those are the words he said. Let your body eat itself. You got all the storage you need. The whole reason keto works is because you don't need to eat all the fat and you just let your body eat itself. And I know there's some YouTubers probably getting mad at me right now, and you don't get mad at me, please. You aren't. Because the fat, eating all the fat works for y'all. And I know there's a lot of studies that say you need to eat up the fat, but you know, they've been doing it for over 20 plus years. And even Halle Berry, she doesn't eat all her fat either, and she's tiny. So they don't use macros. None of them do. No one knows how much fat or proteins or anything they're eating. They just eat keto and eventually the weight comes off. I'm too much of a control freak to just do that, because they say don't use macros. You don't have to track anything other than your carbs, blah, blah, blah. I can't do that. I'm too much of a control freak, and I need to know what's working, what's not. Why did that work? Why didn't this work? So I will still be tracking everything. I will be using my macros, my scales, my everything. So yes, if you can eat the high fat keto, which I was hoping I can, and my inches did go down, just my weight didn't. And I'm not saying I'm going to be low fat every day, and it's not really low fat, it's just less fat. But I'm not going to do that every day. Maybe like 4 or 5 days a week, and then the others will go back to normal keto fat, but still be on page 4. Because I got hungry last night, and I usually don't get hungry. Yes, I did go down in calories too, but I didn't actually feel like cooking by the time I got hungry though, or otherwise I would have, but I did fill myself with water, and I did make another coffee, and I felt just fine. It brought my calories up to where it needed to be. My fat was still as low. So fat helps you stay full. It helps you have extra energy. If you're a person who do tons of activity, I suggest doing all the fat. If you're a person like me who barely does anything other than my workout days, I don't need all that fat because I need to burn what I'm eating plus what's on my body. And I figured this out really well after being bedridden for 3 weeks. Okay. I wasn't burning the fat I was eating, so how was I supposed to burn the fat on my body? Because the whole point of it is, okay, you're eating 100 grams of fat, but normal people need more than 100 grams of fat for energy a day. So that means you're also eating the fat on your body. So that keto works perfect. it makes sense. So if you have an active life, you do things, you clean a lot, you go for walks, you chase your children, you work out, you're a construction worker, you're very busy, normal keto is going to work just fine because you're going to burn all that fat you just ate very quickly, and then it can start eating what's on your body. If you're sedentary, it's going to take a little longer. For some people with polycystic ovary disease, Hashimoto, type 2 diabetes, the list goes on and on. I have multiple ones of those, so I have all these things fighting against me. So if I eat all the fat and it's not an exercise day, I'm never going to get to my reserve. Think of it this way. You have a car. You fill it up with gas. You go a mile, you fill it up with gas. Oh no, you go on another mile, you fill it up with gas. You know at the bottom of your gas tank where it's all dirty? You kind of want to use that occasionally to get rid of it. But if you keep just going a mile and you keep just filling it up, last time I checked, my car doesn't even use any kind of gas in a mile. So it's going to start overflowing after time because 1 mile fill up, it barely used anything. And you do it again, the next mile fill up, it's going to start leaking all over the ground when you try to pump it in there. That's also why sometimes people can still get pee strips to change color when they've been on keto for a long time because they're just spilling those ketones because they're making too many that they're not using properly. It's true. You can look it up for yourself. There is scientific proof behind that too on the whole, those strips should not be working after you're fat adapted and you're doing it right and you've had no cheats. If they are working, especially dark, dehydration could be one, or your body is making more ketones than you're actually burning, or a few other sneaky things too. So I'm having my first collagen coffee of the day. I'm down to a 1/4 tablespoon of butter in it, plus still my heavy whipping cream. So this is my fat bomb of the day. Like I have 2 or 3 of these a day. This is where my fat will be coming from. If I make pancakes, then I put butter on it. There's more fat. If I eat steak, I get to count that fat. So on those kind of days, that's more fat and will probably put me up to my 100. But I'm trying the salad thing. I'm trying the spinach thing, the cucumbers, I'm going to see if I can lose weight eating those kinds of foods. Usually I can't, but I'm going to follow the rules about the fat too. Usually I don't follow the fat rules, but supposedly if you follow the fat rules and eat the vegetables together, like you just stay on track, you won't get all the water weight from those vegetables and you will be able to lose weight. And last time I didn't follow the fat rule, so yeah, I tried to hit my macros, which, yeah, because everybody's body is different. So you hear people, no, you have to eat the fat, and there's tons of people on that team. Then you have the team, no, you don't have to eat the fat. Well, guess what? They're both right. It just depends on where you fit into that group. Which group do you fit into? I think I'm kind of in the middle. You have your, no, it doesn't matter about calories. Oh my gosh, it matters about calorie group. Unfortunately, I fit in the calories matter group. But not all the time. It depends on what I eat. It's really strange that some foods I can eat and go to 2,000 calories and my weight drops. Other food I eat, I can't go to 1,200 calories or my weight doesn't drop, which is really strange for me. So I know I'm rambling a lot. I did not mean to talk 14 minutes without telling you. Did I tell you my weight? Yes, I did tell you my weight. That's because I've been rambling. I don't even remember what I'm doing. So, if you type in Dr. Eric Westman and you want to get his little paper, you don't get the book though. It's $10. Or you can go over to my Facebook group, Fat to Keto, which I don't think you have to join to see it. And you can see where I took the original page 4 and a red ink pen and I marked through to make it more like the new one. And you can choose, maybe the original one will work for you. They changed it because a lot of people were having issues with The berries, a lot of people were getting way too many carbs by eating the 4 cups, or because it said 2 cups minimum, so people were eating 5 and 6 and 7 cups of spinach a day, and that was putting too many carbs that were putting them over their total 20. So we're giving it a shot. Do I feel better with all the fat in me? Yes. Am I having to retrain my body to use its own fat as ketones? Yes. So am I going to be a little miserable the next couple of days? Probably. So we will see. That is why. Let me show you my blood work real fast. Well, not blood work, but, you know, glucose in the morning. Okay. We're doing morning glucose and ketones. I think we're doing ketones. We'll see in a minute. Other than me not feeling well, I should have had perfectly low readings. If I have a high reading, it has to be from me not feeling well, because last night, y'all saw what I ate. My finger don't want to bleed today. Ow. You saw what I ate. So let's see. $91. So that's about normal. I'm anywhere from 93 to 80 in the morning. We'll try ketones. Okay, so if you go by this, that's ketosis. I gotta see what the GKI is in just 1 second, and I will let y'all know. Okay, so as you just saw, the numbers were low for ketones, non-existent if you do GKI, but I don't even know if I already said this. But if you watched yesterday's video, my dinner did not have much fat. So my body did nothing but sleep during the night, and it did not burn its own fat, obviously, because it didn't need to. So we're doing the experiment. We're going to do it for about a month, see what happens. Then I'm going to decide which kind of keto is best for me. Is the higher fat or lower fat still best for me? Because just because something works amazing in the beginning doesn't mean it's going to work years later. So that is what I'm doing this month. Comparing the two. And in March, that will be the way I go. Now, I'll be honest, almost every March, I have gone ketovore, big time ketovore, and lost tons of weight. It's usually my big month. March and the second week of February, I whoosh every year. I don't know if that's going to happen this year, but I am hoping, because it's happened every year. Because my weight loss is in weird areas. It's usually, come the second week of February, I start losing again. And I end up plateauing somewhere around June or July. And it's just like washing weight, like flow. And it's been like that since I first started keto. It is so weird. There are certain months of the year I stall every 7 months. Like basically from September to January is a stall. I guess that's like 6 months, 5 months. I don't know. But the stall actually starts in July because the weight just goes up and down like a teeter-totter. But actual no real weight loss usually is in those months. So my goal is to at least get to my goal this year. Like, I'm really tired of not being there, and I have a whole year to do it. So wish me luck, and I hope y'all are joining me on my journey and doing the same, so you can finally say, oh my gosh, I'm so close to my goal, or I made my goal, or something. Like, I'll be happy to be back into the 180s right now, because I saw that in September, I saw it in the summer, and then it just went away the next day. So I'm going to shut up, and I will show you the rest of my day as it goes. Okay, so I am having my normal pancakes, which is 3 eggs, 1 tablespoon coconut flour. Yes, it's not on the list. I added it to page 4 for myself. Also, it's got cinnamon, a couple of drops of monk fruit for sweetness, and some extract of donut glaze. None of this affects my sugar. I also have a 1/4 tablespoon of butter on top. Alright, I'm going to show you the glucose I just did after 30 minutes of eating my breakfast, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, it's been 30 minutes since I had my breakfast. We're going to check the numbers. If the blood sugar is high, we are going to skip the ketones and do that at the hour mark, because I don't want to be wasting all my ketone strips. Oh my gosh, it is high. Okay, we're gonna waste the ketone strip. I just want to see what it says. Actually, we're gonna wait 30 more minutes. Hold on. Alright, I was not expecting those numbers. 105. We're gonna test again in 30 minutes. I don't know why it raised me. I do those pancakes all the time and my blood sugar never raises. And it raised a lot. So I'm a little confused. Okay, an hour after breakfast, we're going again. I did not like those numbers. That's definitely not going to bleed unless I squeeze it to death, and I don't want to hear people yelling, "Don't squeeze it!" So, we got to make a new hole. $93. Okay, so that's a better glucose. It's back down to what I started with. So if you have type 2 diabetes, you don't do keto, you test after an hour and your sugar's only 93 after you've eaten, then that is considered a giant win. I think I'm going to have to pop myself again. There we go. My fingers don't like to bleed, people. No ketones. So yeah, we're going to keep track of this and keep a watch on it, and yeah. So, Keto in the Chaos. You can go watch that channel. She doesn't produce a lot of ketones either, yet she loses all her weight. And she does not go crazy on fats as well. I really think when it reads that we have amazing ketones, and this happened last month, it's because we've eaten a lot of fat and our body is turning that fat into ketones. If our body is using our own fat to turn into ketones, it only makes what it needs. It's just going to pull out what it needs. So I'm not too sure how well it would actually read. Dr. Eric Westman always says you don't need to test, because if you're eating ketogenic, staying 20 total carbs or lower, not eating the berries, not eating the nuts and stuff, following his protocol, you're in ketosis, no matter what your finger says or the pee strip says. So we're just going with it for this month. We're not going to get upset about numbers or anything, or the scale. We're going to do our body, and we're going to have at least 3 to 4 days of workouts. I want to do 5. My goal is to do Monday through Fridays. But we're starting slow because I kind of overdid it the first week. Then I got sick from my allergy testing. This week, my daughter has allergy testing 2 days this week. So Wednesday and Thursday, I will not be able to make it to the gym. And then I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning, and I don't know how long that's going to be. So we're playing it by ear this week. After that, we barely have any kind of appointments, and I can start a really good schedule. It's Super Bowl Sunday. So if you're keto, you can get some plain wings. You can make some meatballs. You can make little hot dog stuff. There's a million things you can make for your party. However, I'm not having a party, but I have to go pick up my dad's pizza in just a minute. So that's 3 giant, delicious smelling pizzas that I'm going to have to smell. And no, I'm not eating the toppings, because when I do, it messes me up. I will just smell them. I will deliver them. I will come home and I will make me a page for dinner in just a little bit. So, yeah, if I can do it, you can do it, because I love pizza. Okay, I have to be around delivering my parents' pizza. I have to be around getting McDonald's french fries and other cakes and goodies for them all the time. And I survive. And I'm not cheating. And you can do it too. That's my new motto. If I can stop myself when I love the smell of pizza from even eating the topping, you can do it by at least only eating the topping. But I'm not allowing myself the topping, because I don't know how much stuff is in that sauce or what the ingredients is or any of that stuff, so I'm not eating it. Okay, I am preheating the oven to 450. It should take about 10 to 15 minutes for this to cook. It says 20, but last night it only took 15. I have 7 ounces of chicken breast. I have a little less than half a cup bell pepper and 3 tablespoons of my mushrooms. This you can find all on page 4. The spices aren't listed, but it's Italian seasoning with no sugars, no paprikas, no garlics. It's just some herbs. And I put Himalayan salt as well, and I spray it with my olive oil spray. And it'll go in the oven, and I'm basically making what I had last night. It seemed to go well. And since I had to smell pizza, I want something that tastes similar to pizza. Okay, so I am having food from page 4. Today. Now, like I said, they don't track macros other than your carbs, 20 total carbs. He also says you don't have to eat all the fat because your body can eat it. Okay, they don't track macros. So no one knows for sure exactly how many fat they're actually eating. They get their fat from bacon, from their sausage, from everything they eat naturally. So I'm not adding any fat into my food. But after going and getting that pizza, I've decided I want what I had yesterday, but I want to add some bacon to it as well. So my fats will be higher. I am doing a higher protein version, so it won't be as high as last month. I think I'm going to get to close to 80 or 90 tonight. I'm not really sure. I forgot what the app said. So it's not still as high as it was, because I was reaching to the 130s, 140s, 150s every day. So it's still way lower. But it is still a very high fat diet, because a normal fat diet is less than 25 grams a day of fat. I never suggest that at all. I don't suggest going below 50, to be truthful, because yesterday I was starving. So I'm okay with going to 90. Do I prefer to stay around 50, 60 for my weight loss? Yes. But am I going to starve my body and feel miserable? No. So like I said earlier on in the video, you have to do what's right for you. And if all of a sudden one day you decide you need to eat a little more fat because you don't feel so great or you're hungry, do it. It's your body. You're the grown-up. Just like me. I'm not going to feel guilty for saying, I'm going to try to do 50 fats, but in the end, I did 90 today because why should I feel guilty? It's what my body wanted. I'm hungry. I wanted that bacon, and guess what? That bacon's still keto. So it doesn't matter what fat ratio you do. I mean, it might matter for your weight loss, but you're going to have to figure that out. Like I'm figuring out, because last month was not a fail. The scale might not have moved, but the inches moved. So it wasn't a spell. I'm doing page 4. There's no actual macros. It literally says you can eat the meat until you're satiated. So the truth is, we don't really know what the fat for people who follow this and protein really is. So it could be even higher than my low carb manager says. And I've been noticing, depending on what website I use, they all give me different macros. None of them are telling me the same. But I'll show you in just a second what I'm going to eat. Alright, a repeat of last night's dinner. 7 ounces of chicken breast cooked in the oven. Y'all saw the video earlier. 1 cup of spinach. I did throw in 4 slices of microwave bacon, which is new from yesterday. Everything else is the same.